What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Marty coming to with another video. Here to talk about the new, highly anticipated Loki Season 2. Now, this is going to be a whole series review because I did watch all of them. And let me tell y'all, this is nothing short of amazing perfection. Wow. But before we get into it, if y'all can please leave a like and subscribe, that means a lot to me. Thank you guys for watching my videos and tuning in. And now, let's just dive right in. Loki Season 2. Man, what a triumph this was. This is, like I said, amazing. It's a lot better than anything Marvel has put out in Phase 5, and that's a fact. Both Loki seasons have been nothing short of excellent. Now, I do love WandaVision ahead of Loki Season 1 because WandaVision I just hold just dearly in my heart, especially during the time that it came out. With Loki Season 1 being right there, second place, because it is that damn good. I know a lot of people have it as, their favorite MCU project, but I feel like now after this season, for sure, without a doubt, Loki Season 2 is the best Disney Plus show ever. This season didn't even have a lot of action in it, and that's just amazing. Like, this whole season was just a character piece. Obviously, it was centered around Loki and how amazing of an arc that he had throughout this whole season. But, just the characters of OB, Owen Wilson's Mobius, Sylvie, B-15, and Gacy. Like, all these characters, honestly, are lovable. The dynamic that they had with one another was just amazing. And even Jonathan Majors' Victor Timely. This season did so much justice for the Kang because Jonathan Majors gave an amazing performance in Quantumania. It was easily the best part of Quantumania, but the way he lost, a lot of people just don't think that he should be feared with. But in this season, like Loki, every time they mention in the beginning, before he got to meet Victor Timely, when they mentioned Kang, like just the acting in Tom Hiddleston's face whenever Kang was mentioned was just like, yeah, Kang is not to be messed around with. He has to be feared. And he was just in the background. He didn't have to be forefront. That's where I gotta give my hats off and props to this writing, because for this team, and Loki Season 2 was just top notch, amazing. Marvel honestly needs to tap these guys into like the next phase or to finish off this phase, because this Phase 5 has been lackluster. And that first episode, which kind of, lives rent free in my head, it was just so intense, suspenseful. Like, it puts you on hold that, hey, we're in for a bumpy ride this season. And OB, oh my god, OB is just a lovable guy, a new addition to this Loki team. And he was played wonderfully. I'm not going to say his name because I'm going to butcher it, but he won an Oscar for Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and rightfully so, because the man is just so lovable, and he brought so much joy and freedom to his character. I can't get enough of OB, and I hope we see him in other projects. And as I mentioned about Loki's arc, it was truly amazing, from being a villain to now, since this is a series finale review, I'm gonna do spoilers. So to now having his throne and being a god of of the people, god of stories or whatever people are calling him, but he's basically a god where he's holding the loom, the multiverse threads of the loom into the nice, that tree, the tree of life. Like, he's giving everyone a chance in this multiverse, and he sacrificed himself for everyone. All these characters are not without the actors. The actors brought these characters to life, and oh my god, Tom Hiddleston, whatever awards he can win or is eligible to win, he should win them all for this portrayal of Loki, because my god, he brought it. Just like OB, Owen Wilson's Mobius is just he's just as likable as ever, man. And I'm proud that he was able to, well, not necessarily ride his jet ski, but he was on a jet ski. We found out that he's actually a single father with 2 kids. And B-15 too, I love her presence. I think she's going to be like some type of person in command at the TVA now. And she deserves it. I really love this character, and like I said, she's now in command, so I hope to see her in other projects coming up. Casey's the funny dude. He for sure had a lot more to do than in Season 1. And yeah, like I said, with actors, he played him good. So I love to see Casey, and I hope he sticks around. I hope to see him in other projects as well. And Sylvie was good. I feel like she had a lot more to do in season one, but in this one, she was just as great. I wonder where they'll go with her character, but nevertheless, I'm so excited to see if she returns, and I hope she returns. And I gotta talk about Jonathan Majors Kang. Now, obviously, we all know the situation Jonathan Majors is going through. It sucks. If he did do those things, then yes, he should be punished and honestly never act again or never be put in projects again. But if he didn't, then yes, I would like to see him in more projects because he's just an amazing actor. What he did with Victor Timely was it was really, really well. At first, I kind of didn't like the character because, I mean, I think if anything, it was just a stuttering problem. Like, I feel like they overdid it. But once you were introduced to him and the show progressed, I feel like he kept down a notch. Like, there was just this innocence to him. And, obviously he was very, very, very smart because he actually had OB's handbook. And it was kind of like what do you call it? Like a python or a snake eating its own tail because OB and Victor Timely, they both read each other's work, I guess. Even though it was OB's handbook, they made it seem like it's like they're both going off one another, which was pretty cool. Like I said, the dynamic between each and every one of these characters alone is just amazing. But yeah, Jonathan Majors, he was a really good standout. But then when he returns as He Who Remains at the season finale, wow, like that was actually kind of terrifying. The fact that he knew what Loki was doing. Loki learned to finally control his time slipping, and so he actually went back to that time. And as Loki's trying to see what he's gonna do next, like He Who Remains, that whole scene with them was just amazing. Like I said, this season brought so much justice to the Kang character, and if we do continue forward with Kang, I would love to see it because I would love to see Jonathan Majors' version of Kang. But if not, I'm totally okay with it. Especially because in Secret Wars, we already know Doctor Doom is the big bad in every iteration. So I wouldn't mind seeing Doctor Doom at all. I can't remember the episode, but the episode where Loki goes to Sylvie and they're at a bar. Loki's saying he's trying to get the TVA back to where it's supposed to be, help the TVA. But Sylvie is like, no, what do you really want? And he's like, for it to be fair, to restore the TVA. But she's like, no, no, what do you want? And so he finally gives in. He's like, to save his friends. And that right there, that scene right there at the bar, oh my God. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of teared up because it was just beautiful, man, because Loki learned to love these guys, to trust these guys, grew this relationship with Mobius and B-15, Casey, and he was like, without them, there's no him. And so it was really, really touching, man, because Loki's come a long way, because obviously this Loki is the one from the New York battle, from the first Avengers movie. So he was just a villain right there, not too long ago. And to just now, caring for people, loving these people, and then realizing like without them, there's no him. It was just really, really beautiful. There was, much more moments of emotion and other episodes, other scenes. But that right there was just like the nail on the coffin for me. I also really love the time slipping. I love all the going back in time. I love when he goes back in time and then sees himself right there and then he time slips again. All that was just amazing. Like the writers, they all just made this time switching just work. And yeah, like I said, I gotta give my hats off to those guys because it just really worked. It was just really effective into what it was going for. And yeah, he learned to control it. And so once he learned to control it is how he had to go back in time to know how to stop the temporal loom, because what's going on in this season is that the temporal loom is overloading. It's gonna cause the TVA to basically blow up. So he learns to control his time slip. He sees all his friends where they were before the TVA and learns all this information and is able to get them. And then OB, his normal self, he had to deal with the equation like if it's science or fiction. And so I'm gonna butcher this, but basically they're like it's not the what, it's not the why, it's the who. And so he finds out that it basically has to be him instead of Victor Timely, you know, because he killed himself going to the temporal loom and he turned into spaghetti, which was crazy. That episode was crazy too when he first did it. It was really really suspenseful and intense. Loki finally goes through it and he basically transformed. He ascends into his new form, which is the god. And so instead of the temporal loom exploding, he actually grabs onto all of the threads and he gives them life. He gives everyone time because I believe it's still kind of going down. That's a question I still have. So he grabs them all and he sits on his throne and he, you know, builds the tree of life. So I think he just giving everyone time to, you know, to survive. And yeah, like I said, it's just a beautiful arc, you know, for him. At first he didn't want to be alone. In that scene with Sylvie in the bar, he doesn't want to be alone. And he's been alone his whole life. But what I love is that yes, at the end he became alone, but he's sacrificing himself for the people that he loves. Loki, I feel like, has to have the probably the first, if not second. Obviously, it's debatable. Best arc in the MCU. I didn't even think about Spider Man's arc, so I don't know. It's definitely a top five, top five arc. So where we go from here, I don't know. I feel like Loki will have to come face to face with one of the Kangs, if not a lot of the Kangs, or a couple Kangs, because obviously, as we saw in Quantumania, they all gathered up because they're all going to come to war. So I feel like Loki will probably grab some variants from the dying multiverse. And I believe the concept of Deadpool 3 is that they're going to bring some heroes from, you know, the Fox universe and bring them into New Earth or something like that. That's a leak slash rumor that I heard. And I believe Loki will have something to do with that because, you know, he's holding onto the loom and he'll send them off obviously to fight the Kangs, the Kang dynasty. At the end, it should be like a final battle. Loki will have to fight at least one of the Kangs, one of the main Kangs at least. And so that's where I think it'll go from here. Loki's story isn't finished. At least I don't think it is, and I don't think any of these guys too. But if it were to be, honestly, I am content because this felt like also a season finale, the season ending of the whole franchise, the whole season, everything. Like it was that damn good, that poetic, that amazing. And one more thing, also check this out. A TVA shirt from Box Lunch. And I seen this, I'm like, I gotta have it, especially for this review. So yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys were able to cop. If not, y'all go get yours. Box Lunch. I know there is more so to talk about in this finale. If you guys want to talk about it, like I say, every time, comment below and let me know. But I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 10 out of 10. This is nothing short of perfection. Like I said, it's amazing. I feel like this definitely has rewatchability. Tom Hiddleston and the creative team behind this deserve all the awards. So that is it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Like I say, comment below, let me know. And please leave a like and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.